Hi, and welcome to Her Holistic Home YouTube channel and podcast. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my curriculum choices for my first grade student this year. If you want to see my curriculum choices for my fifth grade student, check out my other YouTube video that I did. So let's get right into it. So starting off, we are going to do a lot of Memoria Press. I did Memoria Press with my older daughter. We really love their language curriculum, and I'm a big proponent of the classical method of education. Although we do vary on certain subjects here and there, we kind of have differed and kind of gone away from classical method. But when it comes to the literature and the language parts, we really do try to stick with more of a classical method. And so we are continuing with the Memoria Press. I literally bought the student guide. I already have the teacher's guides for these. One thing I love about Memoria Press is that my daughter will be reading not readers. She will be reading actual books. This is my favorite thing about Memoria Press. She will be reading Little Bear. She will be going through vocabulary words and practicing handwriting as part of her literature, as well as answering questions and doing fun activities. And then after she's in Little Bear, she will be reading Frog and Toad Are Friends. And then she'll be reading Caps for Sale. And so these are actual books they're reading instead of reading readers. And I love that because I have found my children really love to be like, I can actually read that book, and it's a book that's on my shelf. So we love the Storytime Treasures, and we will continue to use Memoria Press for literature. And so then in addition to that, right now she is going to be in their First Start Reading book E. So this is based on the fact that my other daughter did really well in book E in first grade. And if it is too advanced for her and we find that she is not understanding these concepts, we will back her down to book D. They go all the way up, but we did not do their kindergarten program because it's just, we try to keep kindergarten a little bit lighter, but first grade we do start to pick up a little speed. And so since we did all about reading level 1 last year and did well in it, and we're starting in about middle of the way through all about reading level 2, we will just move straight into this and we will see how it goes. So this is actually their phonics, their reading, and their printing. And so you are doing some dictation of sounds, and they're learning how to spell them. They're learning long E, those kind of things. And we will just see how these kind of things, and it's worked out really well for my first daughter, and I'm hoping it will work out for my second because I already have the teacher's guides. So that is what makes this so great. This is, and I just want to show you, this is the first grade curriculum manual. I do not buy this anymore for my older daughter because we don't use a ton of Memoria Press anymore. We differ in our history, we differ in our Bible curriculum, we differ in our language. The only thing that really stays consistent is kind of the reading. And so I don't get this, but for the younger grades, I absolutely do. I absolutely love how it is completely spelled out. It shows your recitation time. It shows your Bible stories that you should be reading, your spelling lessons with page numbers. It shows your reading. It shows your copybook. It shows your literature, your read aloud that you do at the bottom. I really, really love it. And it's great to just be able to check the box, know that we did it. So we do get their curriculum manual. I still have the first grade enrichment guide from Memoria Press, so we will just use this. This is great because this has all the vocabulary and questions related to the read alouds. And I highly encourage doing the read alouds at these young ages because obviously it can increase their listening comprehension and increase their reading ability as they see you read the words. And so we will read through several books and we will go through the vocabulary words before we read it, and we'll kind of do some of the enrichment. So this is really fun, and I did not have to rebuy it. So I'm going to try to get through this with her as well. We are going to try to get through the anatomy with my older daughter. And so I did buy the junior anatomy science journal through Apologia. Now, this may be a little bit advanced for my first grader. However, we are going to try it. It does have some copy work, which I love, and there's a cursive option and a print option, so it will just depend on where she's at. And there are definitely little cutout books in the back that she can also do. So we will just see kind of how she does with this, and it may be something where I really have to help her, or it may be something that we just bypass completely. But there are also our coloring pages, so that can be kind of fun if she's unable to do some of the other things in this book. So we did get this so she can do science kind of along with Noelle. Next up is math. So she did the Good and the Beautiful math last year. It was a great program for her. She absolutely loved it. She went from really not liking math to loving math. If you've seen my Instagram reel about when we unpacked this math, she was extremely excited about getting it. My math! She was so happy. And so we're happy to be using it again. It comes with a box of manipulatives. Again, this is actually free on the Good and the Beautiful's website. You can go there and you can download it and you can print it off yourself. We do like to get the book because it's a really nice long book here that is printed well, and then I don't have to worry about printing it and spending a fortune in ink. And we just really love this curriculum, and I'm hoping it really works well for my older daughter as well. But I have no doubt my younger daughter is going to love this just like she loved it last year. So. We will be working on cursive this year. So Memoria Press introduces cursive in first grade, and it allows them to have a really good foundation in cursive going forward. My older daughter did this curriculum, and we really didn't have to do it again. She just loved it. She took to cursive, and we've just been writing in cursive ever since. So we will see if we have to do this in second grade as well with my second daughter. But if she likes cursive as much as her sister, this will be the only year we will probably do this. It's really great. It just has practicing the letters, different things that you write, and there's also practice sheets that you can also buy that come along with it. So we also bought the practice sheets to just get a little extra practice writing in cursive. Then you have spelling. This is the Memoria Press spelling. So I talked about this a little bit in my last video. Memoria Press in the younger grades has their own spelling curriculum, which I love. I wish that they had continued up to the older grades, and maybe they will at some point, but I really do love their spelling curriculum. So I already have the teacher's manual for the spelling curriculum, and so we just bought the student guide. It has a little paragraph where it uses all the spelling words in context. You copy them, you do dictation, you have a little test kind of at the end. You also have some practice unscrambling words. There's just a really robust program for spelling words. And in the beginning, in this curriculum, you're only doing 10 words. I believe in the older grades you end up doing 20, but it is really, really great. It has a little phonics lesson as well that goes along with it. So I really do love their spelling curriculum, and I'm happy to be doing it again with my other daughter, and I will continue to use it if she takes to it. So in addition to Passport of the World, I did buy a particular history curriculum for Julia. I have decided to bypass American history and ancients and medieval. It is very difficult for us to do those things in combination because it is so above her level. I found out with my oldest daughter that she enjoys history much more now because she understands it. But at a young age, when I was trying to force ancients and I was trying to force some of these harder concepts, it was very difficult for her to even understand the concept of history. We ended up doing American history early on, but with Juliet, I'm actually deciding that I'm going to start with something like this, My Story. This is a social studies. So this is master books. It's kind of a plug and go. It has some Bible verses in it. It just talks about what our world is, what a mayor is, what a governor is, what a state is, what the states are, and you have some copy work and some talk time. And this is really the appropriate curriculum, I believe, for my first grader, because being the second child, we didn't talk about a lot of these things kind of growing up. Like, with your firstborn child, she's the only one. So you're like telling them everything. You're like, that's this. And they're kind of like learning it as they go. And the second's like along for the ride. And while a lot of times, at least with my second, is like, she's so verbally developed, just talk. There's something she just doesn't know because we just didn't talk about them from an early age. Like letters, we didn't do until she was like 4. And then we were like, oh, we probably should learn letters. Whereas my first daughter learned letters at like 2 because there was nothing else to do. So let's learn letters. So this is the curriculum that I think is going to really help her kind of in understanding the world around us. And then last but not least, we are doing a music theory. She does not take any musical instruments, but I want her to kind of understand a little bit of basic music theory just in case she ever decides that she wants to. And I'm kind of interested in learning music theory as well because I don't really know much about it. So this will help me kind of learn along with her. And then for Bible, if you noticed, I didn't have a Bible curriculum. And the reason why I don't have a Bible curriculum is because Bible, I already have established through Memoria Press. They have a Bible storybook that has a little book that goes along with it that has Bible stories. And in that curriculum guide, it tells you which story to read and which questions to ask. So we will continue down that road with that curriculum, which we already have, and it will continue, I think, through even second grade. So we will try to integrate that, as well as doing a little bit of the apologetics with her as well. Since we're doing that with her older, I think she will find some of those apologetics questions interesting, and at very minimum, she will enjoy the answers in Genesis books or the answers for kids books. I'm sure she will love those as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on my first grade curriculum choices. If you have any questions about the curriculum that I have chosen, or wonder why we switched off of certain curriculum, or wonder why we're making certain choices, or if there's something you would like a recommendation for that I didn't mention here, feel free to reach out. I love to talk about curriculum. I love to talk to you about my experience with different curriculum and maybe help you figure out maybe what's best for your child. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next time.